Hi everyone, welcome to Eemaan's Garden channel. Today I decided to replant this Oncidium orchid with you. There are 4 reasons that I decided to replant this orchid. The first reason is old medium. The second is white spots on the leaves. And the third reason is roots. I don't like how they look like. And the fourth reason is the size of the babies. Let's start. First of all, I wanna explain you how I know how I found out that the medium is old. I watered this Oncidium orchid 2 weeks ago. In 2 weeks, this orchid especially, because this orchid is thirsty orchid, it needs to be watered often. It's not like Phalaenopsis orchid. This is different little bit. And the lady who sold me this orchid, she explained me how to water. She told me that we need to water. We don't soak like we do with Phalaenopsis orchid. We just water, and we need to water often. And the Oncidium orchids, they don't sit in the water like we do with Phalaenopsis orchids. And I watered like just she told me. She explained me. Still I'm watering that way. I don't let this orchid sit in the water like I do with my Phalaenopsis orchids. And see, even though I watered this orchid 2 weeks ago, this orchid is not thirsty still. There is something going on with the roots, and the medium is very compacted, and it doesn't get dry. This is the first reason. And when we open the roots, I will show you. You will see better. And the second reason I told you that the white spots on the leaves, see, this is healthy leaf, and it was like this till today. And see, here white spots started appearing. I don't like this. This is a sign of sickness, and for me it's sign of sickness. And I like when my orchid leaves are shiny, perky, and they are green. And this orchid doesn't look like how I like to see. And see, the third reason is roots. See here, if you see closer, these roots, they have salt on it, and this is a sign of the old medium too. See, these roots are brown and there is salt built up on them. It's bad sign. It tells you that the medium is old and it's sour. Orchids don't like this kind of medium. It need to be replanted immediately. See, the bark, it has salt built up on top, and I don't know what's going on in the inside. And see, the babies, they need to be bigger size. These babies, these 2 babies, they grew in my care. When I purchased this orchid, I didn't have these babies. And see, this baby, it's small. Look at the mom. She is big. This is, see, mom is big. And the baby, this baby, which grew from this mom, she is small, thin. She's not fat. And this baby, see, now it started growing, and it has these white spots on the leaves. That means there is something going on. There is something wrong going on with this orchid. And here, this mom grew another baby, and this baby is not growing. That's why I decided to replant this orchid. And let's open the roots. Before I open the roots and show you, I want to prepare my stuff. Here I will show you what I'm gonna use today for implanting this orchid. I want to use perlite, some vermiculite, and of course my New Zealand sphagnum moss. I need to soak this in water and prepare. See, it's small piece and it will become big, it will expand. And now I will show you another ingredients what I wanna use. Here I have my charcoal. This is what I have now. This is the last charcoal which I have, and here my pine bark mulch. I showed you in my previous videos how I prepare my pine bark mulch, and how I make my orchid medium. Those ingredients I want to use today, but they are separate. I didn't mix them because usually I do this. In that video I showed you ready medium. That's why I mixed everything together. But if you use separately, it's very comfortable. See, this charcoal I make myself. Most of you ask me how I make my charcoal, from what I make. There, if you see in my garden, there is wood. It's waste from my garden. Whatever I cut from my fruit trees or my decorative trees, I put there, and someday I burn it and I get my charcoal. And that charcoal I use for my plants, and the ash I use for my garden, for my trees, and for my flowers. Whatever the the types of flowers which like wood ash and strawberries, I use wood ash for them. And let's start. See, I had water here, now I don't have water. This sphagnum moss expanded. See how big it became, and it's heavy. Now I need to open my roots, and I will show you. See, the bark is decayed, it's soft. I can even divide it into pieces with my nails. It's very soft. Now it became acidic. That's why the fertilizer which I use for my orchid, it's going up, and here on top of the medium I have salt built up. That's why these roots are burned from the salt. And see how they planted this orchid. Inside it has sphagnum moss. It's planted in sphagnum moss, and around it they put some bark. And let me clean and open it. See, roots are still good inside. Some of them are decayed, some of them, see, this one is healthy, wide, and this one is soft. And let me clean and I will show you. I am using kebab stick to get rid of the sphagnum moss, and we will see. See, these roots, these new roots, they couldn't grow inside the medium. Even maybe they grow inside the medium, but see, they're disconnected from the medium because medium is very old and it's acidic. See, the sphagnum moss, even it decayed, it became brown. That's why the roots cannot breathe. When the orchid medium doesn't get dry fast, the roots cannot get oxygen. That's why they decay. We need something airy, not compacted. This medium is compacted, that's why it doesn't get dry fast. as is supposed to be, and that's why these roots cannot breathe. Now I cleaned the roots from sphagnum moss. I freed them, and see here I have these tissues. They're brown and they can cause rot. That's why I'm removing them. See, they are brown. They are not live anymore. That's why I don't need them in my new medium. I'm removing them. See? And here I have some dead roots, brown roots. I need to cut them. These brown roots. This root is good, but the tip is salt built up. See? I need to cut the tip. The tip is not healthy, and these roots are decayed. I need to cut them. Whatever is decayed, I remove. Whatever is healthy, I leave. And see, here is dead baby. It's decayed. And the leftover I need to remove. And let me check other side. Here I have that tissue, brown. See, I don't need this. And here, this one is dry. New roots are coming. Still, it's good sign. See, these roots are halfway. I don't know what happened with the rest, with the tip. These are healthy roots. These are, I don't know what happened. Probably it's from the old medium. They couldn't grow. The medium is so sour, acidic. Probably that's why the tip of the roots are dead. Here I have one more. And now what I have, see, my orchid is ready, and now I need to wash it. I have here my potassium permanganate and water. I need to clean the roots. If I wash with potassium permanganate, it will clean the roots properly. See how much I put? It's enough. It's even more. See, I put some, and with my stick I can mix the water, and we'll see the color. Yeah, this color is enough. Yeah, it's enough. I don't need the rest. If you don't have potassium permanganate, don't worry, you don't need it. You can wash with a hose or in the bucket of water. It doesn't matter, but I have that potassium permanganate. That's why I am using. Some people, they use hydrogen peroxide. You can use that too. See, these roots are dirty. Now we'll see the potassium permanganate. It will clean up the roots, and the water becomes dirty very fast. See, the brown spot is going. It's cleaning fast, and it's safe. It doesn't dry the roots, and it doesn't cause the death. I like this potassium permanganate. I use if I have problems, not all the time. I don't wash my orchid roots all the time, but if I have this kind of brown spots or smelling something, I wash orchid roots. See, and you will see See how the roots are clean now. It's very fast, and the water is brown, it's not pink. It took the dead stuff. And see, we'll check here. Even so, if I soak it a little bit more here, it will take this salt built up, and roots, they become more cleaner, but that's enough. I don't want to take your time. And now I need to prepare my medium. Here is my old pot. I'm not using it now because I have clean one. If you don't have other pot, you need to wash this properly. And now I put some sphagnum moss in the pot. See, this much is enough. I put one layer of sphagnum moss, and here I have my vermiculite. I have big bag of vermiculite because I use it a lot for my African violets and for my other plants. And here I have my perlite. And let's start. Here I have some charcoal. Let me place some charcoal pieces in the bottom. I don't know, for somehow my orchids, they love charcoal. That's why I use it every time when I replant orchid. I replanted Cattleya orchid and Dendrobium in this way, and they're happy. I need to update and show you guys. They're happy, they're growing their babies, and this orchid medium, it's suitable for, I don't know, and this is a third orchid which I am using this medium. It's suitable for many orchids. And now I'm adding some bark. This is pine bark mulch. See, I'm taking some pine bark mulch, and I put again sphagnum moss. One layer of bark, one layer of sphagnum moss, charcoal, and I make layers. See, here, this way, I am putting some, and again bark. This orchid loves water, and that's why I add sphagnum moss. It keeps moisture. If you make layer, it stays moist, but it doesn't decay the roots. It's airy because we have here bark also. And I shake it a little bit. See how I'm placing this baby? I have still here a small space. If this orchid decides to grow another baby, I have here space. 2 more years this orchid can be in this pot. And I'm placing again some sphagnum moss around the roots. And where is my kebab stick? Let me find it. And with kebab stick I push the medium inside the pot. See, it's comfortable. You can place the medium wherever you want. you can push with kebab stick, but our fingers can damage the roots. That's why it's better to use kebab stick. See, these roots are visible. Now I can push a little bit inside the roots. I can push the medium in towards the roots. Here in the middle I have old roots, and now I can fill this place with vermiculite and perlite. See how it goes down, and perlite, and when I shake, this vermiculite and perlite goes down, and they fill the empty spaces between the roots. The vermiculite, it keeps moisture, but it doesn't make the medium soggy. It keeps moisture in itself, and whenever the medium becomes dry, the vermiculite, it gives moisture from itself to the roots. That's why it's very good to use when you replant some plants. I use for any plants these ingredients. See, it's going down, and now I need to add some charcoal. I have big pieces charcoal now. I need to burn my woods and have another charcoal. See, I am adding some pieces, and now I add some bark. I am taking small pieces of bark, and because this orchid likes water, if you use big chunks of bark, the medium is more airy and it gets dry very fast. And if you use this kind of small pieces, it's very good for the Oncidium orchids. You can use even more smaller. See, now I am pulling this Oncidium a little bit up, and I put again vermiculite and some sphagnum moss. I want to show you the whole process. Some people, they don't know how to replant. If I tell you, you can go to other video. Some people, they don't know even how to go to other video, how to find the other videos. Most of the time they ask questions if I can show something, but I have replanting videos a lot, but this is Oncidium. Anyway, I'm using the same technique with this orchid as I'm using with other orchids. It's using same ingredients. Let me take some bark, and probably I will finish replanting. See, here under this new roots I can place some sphagnum moss, and these roots will grow inside the pot. The sphagnum moss will hold new roots. See, let me check if I can see roots. Yes, from here I see one root, and from here I covered the roots. It's okay, but I can concentrate from these new roots how this orchid is feeling itself in the new medium. It will be happy. I am sure. Yeah. Now it's done. Here I can add some sphagnum moss again, and from in the middle I can put some vermiculite and perlite and shake my pot a little bit, and this vermiculite and perlite, they go down and they fill the gap between the roots. Now the replanting, I finished my replanting. This sphagnum moss and bark I don't throw away. I use for my other plants which love acidic soil. Let me show you. I used sphagnum moss on my hibiscus plants. See, when I replant my hibiscus, yesterday I replanted this hibiscus plants, then these ones I need to replant. I used the old sphagnum moss from my orchids. I never waste anything. And here I planted pepper, jalapeno pepper, and on top of the pot I used that old medium from my orchids. See how I use it? I use everything, even the leftover medium from my plants. Here are my rain barrels. I used their water. I emptied them all, and here in one barrel I have still water, and from this water I use for my orchids, for my other plants, for my garden. And some people, they ask me if they need to filter rainwater, and they ask me how I use. I just take from this barrel water. See, I just take it and I water my orchids. I don't filter it. See, it's even dirty. Barrel is staying with water for a long time. That's why its color is changed. And this water I put in my orchid. Let's water my orchid and I will finish my video. Here is my orchid. I finished replanting. Now I water it with rainwater. See? Just like this. And the medium, it will sit a little bit, and the vermiculite, perlite, they find their places in the between the roots. See? The water is dark black because I have charcoal in the medium. Now it's done. I shake a little bit. Let me water with this water my flower and put this pot in the decorative pot. Now my Oncidium is happy. We will see how it will change and what will happen with these white spots, if they will go, or if the these new bulbs they grow. I will update if something new will happen. If I see some change, I will update. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you didn't subscribe yet. If you like this video, please put thumbs up and share it with your friends. See you next time. Bye.